So, hello everyone. This is Neha from TAI Kolkata, and we are now today we are conducting a session called "Is Your Business Protected from COVID?" with Mr. Rahul Agarwal. He is a founder and CEO of the Ideal Insurance. Please welcome him. Hi, Rahul.
Hi Neha. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So now we can start your session, and
Okay.
the entire platform is yours.
Okay. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here and speaking to all of you. And I hope I'll be able to add some value to you on the subject, right? So, without wasting any time, let me just straight away come down to our topic, which is, is your business protected during COVID? Now, being in the insurance industry for the last 4 weeks, been we have been constantly getting calls, hundreds of calls from customers, because their businesses are all shut down, and a lot of people are having huge amount of losses. So figure out how they can cover these losses and whether these losses are covered on the road. So, the purpose of this webinar today is to give you throw some light on, all the insurances that are needed right now to protect you properly against any kind of losses, how you can manage your assets properly, right? Let it be very interactive. We have about 25 audience here, so we can have a chat. Any time you want to stop me and ask any question or elaborate on any subject, please feel free to stop me, right? So I have 5 6 points which I would like to cover. But apart from that, if you want to ask anything about insurance or claims or any problem that you're facing currently, feel free to ask me. Okay. So to begin with, the first topic of the day, I would like to touch upon a loss of business cover. Now there's a cover called loss of business, right, or loss of profit. So when you buy a fire policy for your factory, or let's say you have put some shop on rent or malls on rent, and because of certain reasons your business is shut for some time, you can actually claim the loss of business during that time, right? So a lot of clients who had taken a loss of business policy have been inquiring whether currently it is covered or not. The loss of business which is happening because of COVID. Now, first, those who have not taken a business insurance, loss of business insurance, of course, you don't have any option, okay? But yes, in future you can go for a loss of business cover. So let me tell you first what a loss of business covers. So loss of business covers basically any losses that happen to your business because of fire and allied perils. So which are the fire and allied perils? You're like fire, earthquake, storm, tempest, flood, inundation, riot, strikes, malicious damage. So basically, normally the act of God peril. Okay. So only because of, or also machinery loss of profit. So any, if your factory is shut down because of, the breakdown on a machinery, right, that is also covered, right? So similarly, so one is part for factory, other it could also be extended for rent, right? If for these reasons your rent stops coming, so loss of rent is a similar kind of a cover. So currently, this is not applicable because COVID is not covered under the present loss of business policy in India. In fact, it is not covered anywhere in the world right now. Okay, unless and until some company has specifically asked for it. Okay, that is not covered. In future also, I don't think this such kind of a cover will come at least for the next 1 year till this problem is there in the world. Okay, after which some companies might offer, might not offer. We don't know now. Okay, for example, let's say before 26/11, the attack on Twin Tower in USA, there was no terrorism cover, right? And then terrorism cover started after that, and then insurance companies have started giving terrorism cover. Okay, so first, your current loss of business is not covered in for COVID. But nonetheless, if you have not taken a loss of business policy, you must take it in future because it covers a lot of other risk apart from just COVID. So that is our first point for the day. Second is another very major pressing problem is that now when a factory is shut, okay, or when your office is shut or when any business is shut, it is called a silent risk in the insurance parlance, okay. And a silent risk is normally more riskier than where a factory is ongoing, where the production is happening, where the business is run, right? So currently, since your business is not operating and your factory is shut, you have to inform your insurance company about the same. Fortunately, insurance companies, out of concern for the current time, they've extended a helping hand and they're covering silent risk also. But then you must inform them. Okay. If you don't inform them, your claim might be rejected tomorrow. Okay. So it is better to be on the safe side and inform that your factory is not operating right now because of this and this reason. So kindly consider my silent risk as covered under your policy. If you don't do this, you might fall into trouble, and understand that your risk is comparatively higher than when your business is actually running. So please inform your insurer today or tomorrow that about the silent risk. Uh, uh, Now extending the same problem to homes and offices. Okay. Now offices are also of course shut. Now the unfortunately, while people cover their factories, most of the people take insurance. In India, hardly people take insurance for their offices or homes. Very, very negligible, right? So it is a good time for you to evaluate that, and it does not cost anything. It's very, very cheap. Okay. So you must go for your office and home insurance covers because they are at very high risk right now. First, when it comes to office, your offices are shut. Okay. So of course, there's no maintenance, nobody to take care, nobody to look after. So that's one reason why you should cover your office. Coming to home, why home is also important because right now there's a very big risk because a lot of electronic equipment are running continuously in the home. Your AC is operating around the clock in many homes. Okay. Uh, uh, then you're using a lot of gadgets in the home. So your home is also at risk. There already have been a lot of claims of home insurance in Calcutta in the last 1 month. In fact, one of the biggest incidents, which I'm sure most of you would have heard about, is the fire that happened in South City Galaxy. Now, friends, that's one of the posh apartments of Calcutta and a very newly constructed building, right? Even in that kind of a building, such a massive fire occurred, in one of the flats. That flat, of course, got completely gutted, but at the same time, a lot of damage was done to a lot of flats in that building. Okay, so there have been similar other incidents. Okay, so it is very important for you to ensure that your houses and houses and offices both are covered well. As I'm once again repeating, it does not cost me. Just to give you an idea, let's say you have a 2,000 square feet home in one of the good areas of Calcutta, covering all content, furniture, everything, it will not cost you more than 8 to 10,000 rupees per year to cover everything. Okay, so you can understand, the uh, uh, people insure their cars worth 10 lakh rupees for 30,000, and they don't insure their house worth crores of rupees for 10,000, right? So it's a mindset problem. But please do that if you haven't till now. Okay. Then the next pressing problem right now is about the transit insurance, which is happening. Now, a lot of goods are stuck on the road. Okay. A lot of trucks, they are not able to operate. The drivers have just left the trucks on the road and, gone to their homes or whatever. A lot of goods are lying on the port. Okay. It could be Indian port. It could be if you're exporting, then, it might have reached the other side of the port, or if it is in port, goods are stuck everywhere. Okay, it is said that Indian goods of approximately $5 billion, which is about 35,000 crore rupees, are stuck right now. Okay, on the roads or on the ports. Now, normally there's a time limitation to which these goods are covered on the road or during transit. Uh, Whether your time limit has extended or has expired or not, it's a good idea for you to again inform your insurance company if your goods are stuck, that your goods are stuck, so to allow you another 30 days or 60 days for the same. Okay. Now, in case your goods have, let's say, your goods are coming from Delhi to Calcutta, and if they have entered Calcutta, okay, then it's all the and still they are stuck, then it's all the more important for you to inform them, okay, that the goods are lying there, so kindly extend my coverage. In case you have been able to put your goods in some godown in between the storage, so then of course you need to cover a fire insurance for those goods also, okay. But if your goods are stuck anywhere in India or anywhere abroad, please again inform your insurance company, get a receipt that they an acknowledgement from them that they have extended the cover, okay, then you are at the safe side. uh, Next is another risk which has come up in forefront, a risk which was already there but which has become more prominent now, is a cyber crime risk. uh, Now, my account personally, was almost about to get hacked, but since we have very strong systems in our office, we got the alert, okay, and we could stop it. But I know a lot of people are facing this problem. A lot of cyber attacks are happening. I'm sure you can just open Google and you can find out. A lot of cyber attacks are happening across the world because people are using internet more and more. People are practically everyone is living in the virtual world right now, right? So the number of cyber attacks have gone up drastically. Okay, so it's the perfect time for you to take a cyber policy. Now, even if your business is an offline business, you need to understand how the cyber crime happens. So these guys, they also sometimes hack your accounts. Okay, it's not that they will only take your data or anything. They will hack your account and they will ask you for a huge amount of money just to release the accounts for you. They'll hack your tally and they will, you lose the access to your tally. It can be as serious as that. And of course, they can always, send through phishing mails. They can capture bank account data and fleece money from there. So, whatever business you are in, okay, if you are doing online transactions, if you're having accounts anywhere on the cloud, you do have a very huge risk, okay, of cybercrime happening. So you may evaluate taking a cybercrime cover, right? So moving on, my last and most another important point for individuals is a life and health cover. So just there, I want to mention that COVID is covered in every life and health policy that you might have taken. Okay, so if anyone tells you anything otherwise, please don't listen. It is automatically covered. You don't need to inform the insurance company or anything. If anything happens, now of course, any COVID related thing happens, it's the government's responsibility to provide the cover. But in case you opt for a private hospital or upgraded facility that you have to pay, it is covered in your health insurance. Same for life. Okay, so if anything happens to anyone, God forbid, your life insurance provides for COVID. So you don't need any special cover for COVID. There are some companies which had come out with some COVID covers, but I don't think they are great. Okay, so you can avoid that. No point of buying a special COVID cover, right? Your health insurance, life insurance are good enough. Of course, you can look at topping up your health and life. That's a different subject altogether. If you don't have sufficient, but your present policies, they cover both of them, right? So these are the major topics as far as the current problems that the insurance the clients are facing, the burning issues which are there in the market currently, which I want to focus on. But I'm open to questions now. If anyone wants to ask anything or any problem they are facing, please feel free to write in the chat and I'll speak on that. So I'll wait for another few minutes. I mean, if people don't have any questions, and then I'm hoping and assuming that the information I've given have been good enough and exclusive enough, right? So otherwise, then we can end the webinar in another 5 minutes.
Right. So requesting all the participants, if you want any question, if you want to ask any question to the speaker, please type to the chat area, and I will ask the same to the team, and he will going to revert back.
Okay, another point I think I missed out. is regarding your vehicle's insurance, right? So if your vehicle insurance is falling due during this time, you can actually delay the payment on that, right? And you can take, since your vehicles are not running on the road, there is no risk, right? You can avoid taking a policy for your vehicle, and only once you start using it or after the lockdown, then you can buy the vehicle insurance. There'll be no penalty, nothing. So you can just save premium for this time. At the same time, even for life insurance and health insurance, the insurance companies have given extended time to pay your if any policy is falling due from the during the lockdown period. The government is allowing to pay after the lockdown period, right? So if anyone has any cash issues, cash flow problems, you can use that extended time frame and pay it after the lockdown. But if it is possible, it is always better to just pay and get done with it, because let's say you forget after lockdown, okay, or there's some other issues, okay, then you might lose your cover, okay, which you cannot afford to at this time, okay. So, but yes, you have that extra time. I think Neha, I think we can close the webinar, and you may share my email ID with others. If anyone has any questions later on, they can always write to me and I'll respond to them.
Sure, definitely. So you are
Yeah.
done with your session, right?
Yeah, I'm done unless and until anyone has any questions.
Okay, I'll just share your email ID with everyone. So let me unmute all the audience. Just hold on.
Sure.
Hello, I have unmuted all the participants, but I guess they have muted themselves. Anybody has any
Uh,
questions?
yeah, I have. Hi, Karishma, this side from Kariwala Industries.
Yeah, hi Karishma.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I have a question. There are some goods, those were in transit. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
those were covered under marine insurance, but now we have intimated the insurance company. Now they are
Mhm.
not reverting. So, can you please suggest how to proceed with that? And the goods are not traceable even.
So Rahul, can you please revert?
Rahul is not audible.
Yes, 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 yeah. So, hi, Karishma. Uh,
Hi.
uh, Hi. So if the insurance company is not reverting on that, do you have an intermediary, or you are dealing directly with the insurance company?
We are directly dealing with the insurance company.
Okay. So if you don't have an intermediary, if you're directly dealing, so one thing you can, and your goods are untraceable right now, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I would suggest that you file a claim with the insurance company that you have lost your goods. Okay, and they'll be forced to revert on that. Okay, because if the goods are untraceable, it might actually be a claim in the end. Okay, so you might as well lodge a helpline number. You can write a mail to them. Okay, or if you can tell me the insurance company, I'll connect you to the right person who can help you out with that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right? You have my email ID, so if you need any further info on that, we can help you with that. But it's better you
Sure.
lodge the claim right away.
Anybody has any questions?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, this is Devopriyo. Hello.
Yeah, hi Devopriyo.
Yeah, hi. This is Devopriyo from Srachi. I have couple of questions. Like right now, we are in the middle of extension of a car policy with a PSU company. So, what challenges I'm facing that the PSU insurance companies, they are actually shut down, and they are being for extension of car policy. They have to get the approval from the Mumbai office, and right
Yes.
now their Mumbai office are also operating with very limited staff. I have escalated the matter to their grievance cell also, But unfortunately, till date, we have not received that kind of cooperation. I have given them all the calculations and every clarifications, but still, as of date, our entire project is uncovered, and we don't know, like, if there is any kind of national calamities or something, how we are going to get the claim, because we have already intimated and we have given all explanations about our project and requested them to give the code, but still now we are in dark, like what to do.
So you're Mr. Devopriya from Shrachi, right?
Right, right.
I heard correctly. And what kind of project is this? Is it a housing project or a factory
Yeah,
project,
it's a
or
housing project. It's a housing
it's a
project.
housing?
Right.
Okay. And which insurance company is it?
Yeah, it's Oriental.
Oriental. Again, do you have an intermediary in this, or you have been dealing directly?
Basically, there was an intermediary, but for last couple of years, we are dealing directly only.
Okay, okay. So it's a huge challenge right now, Devopriya. You are absolutely right. The insurance, public insurance companies are not reverting properly because, as you know, nobody is going to office, and at the same time they are not very proactive in working from home, unlike the private companies. Okay, I cannot give you a solution right now on this, but if you connect with me and I can connect you to some senior people in Oriental, okay, offline, and I hope that we'll be able to help you with that, right? Otherwise, second option is you can try with some private companies if they are able to extend that cover, okay, from current date and not from the old date, right? I'm sure you have understood what I'm trying to say, because normally you have to take it from the day one policy, but if some
Right.
private company is able to give that, that's a possible solution. But we can help you with some senior level connect in Oriental. If that helps you, you can write to me. My email ID will be given to you, and you can write to me, and I'll help you out with that. But it's a huge challenge getting work done from the PSU companies right now.
Right, right. And one more question I have regarding silent risk. I have informed couple of insurance companies, because we have a lot of fire policies, fire with along with MBD policies. So, two questions: like, do we have a by default coverage of 30 days inbuilt in the policy, and post informing the insurance company, like, is it mandatory to switch off and shut down the power circuit? Because we do not have that kind of manpower right now, and we have received some confirmations also from the underwriter, confirming that we are being provided with that kind of coverages, but
Yes,
provided that we are taking adequate precautionary measures to do the firefighting, and we should switch off the main circuit. So is it a mandatory requirement
it
for
is. It's
getting this?
mandatory requirement. It is a mandatory requirement. But right now, the insurance companies have given a leeway in light of the current crisis that is happening. Okay, so right now they have waived all norms. So just be clear on whatever it is. If you are not able to shut down the main power, write it in mail. Okay, that
Right.
we understand it's a requirement, but because of this and this problem, we are not even able to do that. Okay, so just be very clear and transparent with the communication. They will have to cover it.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, so don't overcommit or don't undercommit. Whatever is the exact situation, please inform the insurance company on that.
Okay, fine. And my last question regarding a marine insurance, like, we have one marine insurance with Tata AIG. So
Hmm.
pan India, our vehicles are traveling, like, for our plant, like, whatever machineries and accessories are there. So the truck are stuck. Now there is an intermediary. We have reached them, and we have asked them, like, whether, like, silent risk, we need to give some declaration or not. But it has been informed that we are by default we have given a time frame of 60 days. Like, for 60 days, the vehicle can be stuck anywhere. So for that, as of now, there is no need to declare anything to the company.
Absolutely, that's fine. If it goes beyond 60 days and if you're not able to move your goods beyond 60 days, then you ask for
Right.
extension. Okay,
Okay,
thank you,
fine.
Devo.
Okay.
Hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
Mr. Rahul Balasaria has raised his hand. I guess he has some questions to ask. Hi, Rahul.
Yeah, hi Rahul. This is Rahul here. This side, Rahul Balasaria. Thank
Yes,
thank
yes.
you for the wonderful session, and it was quite informative. Wanted to know a bit of clarification on the the loss of business policy. Does that come inbuilt with the fire insurance, or do we need to take it separately as a separate rider, or is it a completely different policy that we need to buy?
Great question, Rahul. Thank you very much. I should have informed this, but nonetheless, thank you for raising this. So it comes as a rider on your basic policy, fire policy. You cannot take it separately. You can only take it with a fire policy. Okay. So if you don't have, you can also actually add it in between during the year. Let's say you have a renewal in September, but you can ask your insurer to add it right now as a rider. Okay. In any case, during the renewal, you can take it, but it comes as a rider and not a. You cannot take it separately also if you want. And normally the sum insured is the expected gross profit for the next 1 year. Let's say if you're taking a 1 year loss of profit policy, so your sum insured is the next 1 year's gross profit.
Okay, so let's say I have a certain sum insured for the fire insurance policy for my office, and obviously since we are into trading business, we have fire insurance policies for our warehouses as well. So under which policy will this be covered? Will it be covered under the office policy which we have already taken? And number two, the gross profit estimation will be based on the previous year's balance sheets, and or will it be related to the sum insured which is currently we have taken under the fire insurance policy of either the office or the warehouse?
Okay. So normally this will be covered under your warehouse policy, not under the office package policy. Okay, that is the first thing. Second, your sum insured, your claim will depend on many factors. Okay, it's a little complicated in case of loss of profit. So of course they will look at your last year's gross profit, but at the same time, let's say your this policy started from January. Okay, they will also look at the gross profit which is happening from January to, let's say, March, April, the orders that you had in hand prior to having the claim, okay, and what is the outlook for future. So they look at all the three things, and then they come to an estimation. And normally there's always a negotiation in this because it's a very subjective kind of a thing, okay. But they look at all the factors.
So do you have any recommendations whether we should be going with the PSU insurance companies, or do you have a recommendation of a private insurance company with which we should have this policy?
Always private. We are strictly against PSUs. I'm saying it publicly on a on a recorded platform, but it's very difficult to get work done from the PSU company. The private companies are much more efficient and forthcoming in when it comes to claim, and they have escalation metrics. Whereas in PSUs, there's no escalation. You can keep on escalating even to the chairman level, and nothing much happens. Okay, so we would, yes, private companies. The only problem is they're a little conservative, right? So they will do an inspection and ask a lot of questions before taking the policy. But once they take the policy, it's much better to go with a private company.
So since we are already having a running fire insurance policy with a PSU insurance company,
Yes.
if you want to take this loss of business policy, can we go for a private insurance company with a new policy right now amidst this COVID situation? And if we, let's say, go for a rider in the current policy, will the loss of profit be still be covered for the the period in the time when we are actually not able to work?
No. So first, you can add. You have to add it to your existing policy only. Okay. And you of course cannot cover the old claim, but there's anyways no claim because as I said, loss of business due to COVID is not covered. But yes, in future if there's a loss of business due to fire or some other reason, at least that can be covered if you take a cover right now. Okay, so it makes sense and it doesn't cost much, right? To add it to your business policy, it will not cost too much premium. So you must add it to your existing policy, and next time whenever you have a renewal, you can try to switch it to a good private company.
Okay, so that answers my question, Rahul, with regards to the loss of business policy. I hope you still have time for a couple of more questions from my end. Will that be okay?
Yeah, we have time. Please go ahead. Yes, we have time.
Yeah. So I have a question with regards to the silent risk, as you mentioned. So is it also covered currently under my fire insurance policy, or does that also need to be, taken separately?
So that is normally covered. Okay, that is normally not covered. So when it's a silent risk, you have to inform the insurance company. The insurance company might not give you the cover, or they might ask you for extra premium. But in the current times, all the insurance companies have been kind enough to allow a free silent cover to everyone who's insured. But my just what I'm recommending is just send them a mail, okay, and inform them that right now it's a silent risk. So kindly extend my coverage to my factory. So kindly ensure it is covered, right? Just inform them. It's good to keep them informed.
And can you give me some examples of what kind of claims can be covered under the silent risk?
See, it's the same policy. Understand? It's the same fire policy, right? It's the same risk which is covered. Only what happens when the factory is shut, okay? It is called a silent risk because there's no activity happening in the factory. There's no maintenance. So the insurance companies consider silent as a bigger risk than a running factory. So it's the same risks which are covered, just that the times have changed and the risks have changed, but the same things which are covered.
Okay, so our intimation will help us a safeguard for not rejecting the claim by from their end.
Yes.
Okay, Rahul. Thanks a lot on that note. And you mentioned regarding taking cyber security measures at your office or the workplace, which ensures that you are adequately safeguarded. Although
Yes.
we want a situation where the the insurance claim should not occur at all. We should be safeguarding enough so that there is no loss at all in the first place. Can you share some things which you have implemented at your business with regards to cyber security?
Yes, I'll have to connect you to my IT guy. I'm not a very tech savvy guy. So my IT team will be able to guide you on that. So you can mail it to me, just you can drop a mail to me and I'll connect you to my IT team and they can guide you on that. In fact, my personal Gmail account was also hacked, but fortunately my IT team was able to revive it. Okay. So I mean that was fortunately there was no damage, right? And we have good systems, so I can connect to them and you can ask them, or you can also talk to some IT guys and get an audit of your system done, okay? And they can tell you where the vulnerable areas are and what you can do about it. But yes, my team can always help you out with that. Not a problem. At least they can guide you, and then you can choose any vendor.
I'll connect with you, Rahul, post this, and I'll drop you a mail. And thanks a lot for answering all my questions. This webinar really helps a lot. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Entirely
Thank
my
you,
pleasure.
Rahul.
Thank you.
So we have another question from Mr. Manit Singh. Can you
Mr.
hear me, Manit Singh? Manit Singh, Manit Singh.
Yeah. Hi, Manoj ji.
Hello, Manit ji. I guess he is not active or what.
Okay, no problem.
I have another question from Vishwarup Roy. Hi, Vishwarup. Can you
Yeah,
unmute yourself?
hi Rahul.
Yeah.
Yes, can you
Right.
hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you very clearly. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
As of now, Rahul just wanted to know that we have insurance policies covered for the vehicles particularly, and post-accident issues when it comes up for when the claiming issues comes up with the insurance companies, we find that getting the cashless policy, particularly with the vehicles, when it comes to get it repaired from the showrooms. That is quite an arm wrestling, situation that comes up. Now, can you just highlight on this how to approach as of now in this era?
So, I don't want to do any cheap marketing here, but yes, if you have a good intermediary, then it is the role of the intermediary to take care of that part. Okay. Otherwise, see, the motor claims are very standardized claim. Okay. You have to get the inspection done, and you have to give a list of the estimate of all the repair costs. Now, the insurance companies, what they do is normally they try to negotiate on that. It's just that you have to be firm and assertive with them that you're not going to accept anything less unless and until they have a strong logic. So it is just a dirty negotiation that sometimes the insurance company does, because that's a very psychological thing, that when there's a claim and the client always accepts something lower. They know that if they press too hard, right, the client will just agree. So you have to make a stand that you're not going to agree anything lesser than what is right, and that you're ready to go to court. So most of the time they will fall in line. Okay. But again,
Yeah,
claim is a
thanks.
very different and huge one. Yeah. So if you again, if you need any specific input, I can connect you to somebody in my motor claims team, and they can guide you in more detail on what to do for your claims in the future.
Yeah, sure. I just got another query, Rahul, that this fire policy, particularly for the manufacturing units, what we are talking about. Uh, there's a boiler, the coverage of a boiler, as we are using boilers. So the fire policy, how much does it cover the boiler incidents that may happen in future? Is the whole risk covered into it in the fire policies that we are generally taking from the insurance companies, or there are exceptions to that, or there are certain reasons where we have to take the boiler policy separate?
So there is a special policy for boilers called a boiler pressure plant policy, which you must take if you have a boiler. Okay, and normal fire insurance, there are some risks which are not covered specific to boilers, so you must take a specific boiler pressure plant policy.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I guess there is no questions left.
Yes. So great. So thank you very much, Neha. So you can just send my email ID to all the people who have registered, and people who also could not register or could not join. If they have any queries, they can always write to me, and I'll be more than happy to help them out.
Sure,
And thank you,
definitely.
Neha, and all the organizers. Uh,
Thank you, Rahul, for coming and doing the session for us. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Yes. Bye. Bye.